Hello and welcome to the Saimoe Channel, your guide for all things tournament and moe. My name is Mental10 alongside Magler and Chibasa. Thank you for taking your time to listen into our podcast. Everyone, hi!
Hi.
Hi.
So Aquamarine is currently underway right now. And based on what we know of how all the groups are being seeded, Maglor, is there one particular group, since there's only 16, that you feel is going to extremely dominate everyone else? Is there like one group where one character will easily sweep the floor off of everyone else?
Well, Misaka Mikoto, I'm afraid will probably do that. That's the benefit of, being the number one seed. I think Misaka Mikoto and probably Shinomiya Kaguya is gonna do that. But after that, I see at least one character, other than Group 6, where I see at least one character that can challenge the first seed. Those three groups are the ones where we're gonna see one character that will dominate over everyone else. That's my opinion.
Well, what about the male side?
In the male side, things are slightly more competitive, but still, I think Group 1, Shirogane Miyuki is probably going to dominate. Ishigami Yu, not as much. It is possible that Ishigami Yu just benefited from just being in the right series. I like to point out that I know lots of scary Natsume Takashi fan ladies who would love to do anything to get boost him. Sakuta, I think he is in a very safe group, so he'll probably dominate. Levi Kyone is gonna give him a trouble. Kamijo Toma, he is in an easy group. I think Kamado Tanjiro is in a relatively easy group, so that's group number 8. But after that, things get too murky. So Miyuki, Sakuta, Toma, and Tanjiro, I think those 4 will show a dominating performance. Everyone else has at least one serious challenger against them.
What about you, Chibasa? On the female side, who do you think is going to completely dominate everyone else?
I think Kaguya will be the main one. I think her group is pretty easy. I don't think anyone can challenge her. Mikoto should dominate as well, but I think her opponents are a bit stronger. Kaede did pretty well on the preliminaries. Kanak is still strong. There's 2 other Q&A characters with her, so at least she would have a competition. I think usual Yukino, Mashiro, and maybe Mai will also kind of dominate.
So now the opposite, Maglor. Which groups are like really hard to predict? Who's actually going to win?
Group 4 is my top pick for the most competitive group of them all. Not only do you have the all strong power, the Yuki Asuna, we have the Saber who always been strong. And then we have a newcomer, Hayasaka Ai, who really was impressive in the seeding match, who couldn't get higher just because the limitations of the schedule. I see at least 3 strong characters. Makinohara Shoko, she might have gotten a good boost from the latest movie. So 4 strong characters with 3 that can challenge for the number 1 spot. Group 4 has my biggest attention. Other than that, if you pick other groups where the number 1 is hard to predict, Group A is rather hard to predict because Ishiki Iroha's strength is a bit unknown. And then Group 14 with a Fujiwara Chika, Shoko Misaki, that one is not going to be easy to predict as well.
What about the male side?
So male side, I already mentioned Group 2 being more competitive than people realize. And then other groups that I can see to be very competitive is Group 7, Rikudora versus Gilgamesh. You're talking to someone who used to not like Gilgamesh for all those mean things he said in the Unlimited Blade work. But what I saw in the fake Grand Order was something totally opposite of what I expected from him. So that kind of won me over, and I suspect it won over a lot of other people. And then Group 10, Subaru, the number 1, Lelouch, a tiara winner. Not only that, tournament championship winner. Yuzuru, a necklace winner. Willem, I think he also won a pendant. Yukara Soma, he also won a pendant. Other than Giorno Giovanni, you have, those who either have a poster or is coming very close to poster here. So Group 10, of all the groups we have, is probably the most competitive group of them all. After talking about Group 10, it's a bit hard to say anything. Maybe Group 16 and Group 14 in the male side, but Group 10 really has serious star power.
What about you, Chibasa? Which one in the female division do you think is going to be very competitive?
I think Group 12 will be the hardest one, with Emilia, Shiro from No Game No Life, Takagi, Kusaka Arena, Yatogami Toka, and Sakagami Tomoyo. First, Emilia and Shiro on top seeds are both strong and probably on the same level. Takagi almost made elimination stage last year. She was 18th in the Diamond Wildcard match. Kusaka Arena have the usual Q&A support with her. Tomoyo as well, but she also performed quite well during prelims. Apart from Yato Gamitoka, who I think may be the eliminated one here, I think all of them will be in topaz. Then I have noted, like Maglor did, Group 14 with Shokuho Misaki and Fujiwara Chika. I think this match will be the most important one of Aquamarine period, because it's also Toharu and Kaguya-sama factions' first encounter. It might also imply one of them will be in the necklace match, so it will be a good test for those factions to see which one is most powerful.
Oh
And
man,
it
you
will be
really have ramped up that importance of that match.
What about the male side? Who do you think is going to be the most difficult to predict?
I have to agree with Maglor. Group 10 will be the hardest one to predict. I think Willem will be not performing as much as last year's, so maybe I go with Subaru first, Lelouch second, Yuzuru third, Suma fourth, Willem fifth, and Giorno eliminated. And I think Group 14 might be interesting as well, with Archer and Teki. Koyomi, Pendant winner, is also there. I'm unsure others will be strong, however.
I bet there is a lot of engineers who love to go to Ishigami Senku.
So Chibasa, you talk about the Aquamarine necklace. If Shoko or Chika make it to Aquamarine necklace, it might change the results of Aquamarine. So then who do you think is gonna make it to the Aquamarine necklace?
I think Mikoto, Kaguya, and Yukino are the three main ones. I think Mashiro, Asuna, and Mai will also make it. Then it's harder to say for two last ones. Tosakarin might make it, and then it's possible Chika or maybe Hiroasu make it.
What about in the male side?
Levi, Shirogane Miyuki, Ishigami, Sakuta, Toma, Yuta, Rikudola, and Kiyotaka. I think this will be those 8.
What about you, Maglor? Who do you think is gonna be the 8 characters heading into Aquamarine necklace?
Because of our rules, just being strong is not good enough to be in Aquamarine necklace. You have to get lucky, because if you are undefeated, then we then go by, relative margins of victories. And that means that any person that has a strong competitor in the group will kind of suffer. In that light, Mikoto, Sakuya, and the Mai are the 3 people that probably has the easiest path to the necklace. Others, although I think the Yukino and Asuna is probably stronger than most other girls here, with exception of perhaps Tosaka, then I don't think they're guaranteed. They might have 1 or 2 close matches, and that might make some other random girl leapfrog them in the point standing. So it's really, really difficult to say. If I go with a conventional wisdom, still, yeah, Yukino, Asuna, Rin, probably Sagiri, and Emilia. Those are the ones that I think is probably the easiest. However, one person I really wish that can make the Aquamarine necklace is Amano Hina. She would really be a good choice for Aquamarine necklace.
What about the male side? Who are the 8 characters that you think are gonna make it to Aquamarine pendant?
5 of them with the easiest passes: Miyuki, Sakuta, I have to say Levi, Kamijo Toma, Tanjiro, and then, put in Ishigami Yu. And then the 2 others is really, really gonna be tough. Judging on the strengths of the opponent, 2 surprises we might have is Okabe Rintaro and Yujiro. They actually have relatively weaker opponent compared to the rest of the group. Thus, they might get some point bonuses to leapfrog them if they can somehow be undefeated. So those will be my picks for the Aquamarine. And if you want anybody as my surprise pick, unlike Amano Hina, which I see as someone with a potential to be strong, and someone with, thematic element that fits Aquamarine very well, I don't see someone like that in male. So I guess I'll leave it as that.
So you really like Hina, huh? If she did extremely well for some miracle and made it to Aquamarine Necklace, you would vote for her, right? Out of the other
Yeah,
8
I'll put
characters?
her as number one. When it comes to the necklace, at least for me, everybody has their own standards, and I'm not gonna say anything. Mine is better than others. But my number one pick usually is which character looks the best in the Aquamarine poster. And Amano Hina just got everything. She's someone who looks good. She has a water theme in her hair. So that is a strong connection to the Aquamarine poster. And I bet that if you look for official poster material, there are lots of things that reminds us of water or aquamarine blue color for Amano Hina. So I think she might be somebody that Hikari or Cody might find very easy to make a poster out of. So she will get my number one vote if Amano Hina somehow makes it to the Aquamarine necklace match.
So are you voting for Hina because she looks good in Aquamarine? Is it a
Yes.
strategical voting? Do you actually like her personally as a character?
I do like
gonna...
her as a character, yes. I would actually say in the group 5, Amano Hina, I'm not going to say she's the strongest, but I'll probably vote for her in all the matches because I like the character, I like her personality, I like how she was involved with the plots, and I also find her pretty. Although I'm probably one in the minority that says high school version Amano Hina looks cuter than the middle school version.
What about you, Chibasa?
I would say winner of Shokuho Misaki and Fujiwara Chika match would be my favorite, but they actually might both be out if their match is 250-50. Then girls from other groups would be in the necklace instead. Those are the two I want to see winning a necklace this year the most.
So what you're trying to say is you like big busty girls who have high control over people and want to control them.
It's maybe a factor, but that's not why I choose.
I suspect it is not size of the, but I think Chibasa likes tall girls who is very confident, and maybe there's psychological aspect of people that says that if they see someone tall, they kind of see some kind of strength from them, and then automatically kind of thinks that they are some confident person. And one of the characteristics I find about the girls that Chibasa like is that those girls usually exude confidence.
Yeah, it's true. I like confident characters.
But I would consider Chika as a ditzy girl. Where's the confidence coming from?
Maybe because she doesn't know better. Usually Chika, whenever she thinks of something or says something, she sticks to it. She is one of those who would get in an argument with Kaguya and, not back down. And you know that the Hirogane Miyuki always get tutored by Chika.
You call that tutoring? Are you sure? I would personally call that suffering.
Well, Chika did manage to get Shirogane Miyuki do a lot of things that he couldn't do before.
Right, but at what cost?
That's the fun part.
True, yeah. It took a lot of hard work, but hey, no pain, no gain.
I think I like Chika and Misaki for different reasons. Chika is kinda funnier, while Misaki is more about her different interactions and her background story. It might be a spoiler to talk about her background, but I like it a lot. And then about who looks good in Aquamarine poster, I agree with Amano Hina. I would probably put her second or third in the ballot if she's in the necklace. I also think Sakura Jimamai could look good there. Since I also like her, I could put her pretty high on the ballot as well.
To quote from Hikari, Sakurajima Mai looks good in any poster.
It's funny how you guys both like Mai from Aobuta, because I personally like Shoko, and I don't see her winning Aquamarine at all. And I don't know how well she's going to do in the entire period. Because I'm glad that she actually made it to Aquamarine period, but I have a good idea that she's not going to win a lot of her matches, and she's going to be easily kicked out. And I don't know whether or not I want to see her suffer losing all those matches, or whether I'm glad that she at least made it to Aquamarine.
I think she will survive Aquamarine because I don't think Sora Ginkgo is very threatening. So I think Shuko will be at least on the approval match for Topaz. And then Aobuta girls were pretty strong during approval matches in the preliminaries. Kaede almost won all of them, and Shuko was second or third, I think. So I think both Kaede and Shuko can be in Topaz.
I agree. If you ask me to rank the girls in Aobuta that I like the best, I would put Shoko pretty close to Sakurajima Mai myself. One of the things that I remember most about Shoko is how Kiwi actually made a match of the day poster where she put Makinohara Shoko in one end, looking rather angelic, while she put the 02 at the other end, looking like a real flaming diabolic character. The clear theme was devil versus angel. And I think Makinohara Shoko really has that angelic air. However, I kind of suspect the reason why we have Kaede and Shoko from Aobuta compared to everyone else is probably because those two have most lowly appearance of them all.
Do you think every ISML voters are lolicons?
Well, looking at the 96 that got in here, I would have to say at least the majority are, or there are so many things that cannot be explained.
Is there a particular character that you wished made it to Aquamarine period? And would you rather see her in Aquamarine than not see her at all?
I think I would prefer seeing him in Aquamarine overall, because there is always a chance that the upset appears, and when it happens, the upset is always the best kind of win. While if you don't have any chances to lose a match, your win does not feel very important.
So the character I wish who had made it to the Aquamarine is Chiyoda Momo. I think that's the character I like the most. And then Baby Senjoga Hitagi. And as for the character question about whether it's good to make it to the Aquamarine and then get embarrassed or not make it at all, I still is in the side making it to Aquamarine is better than not making it. The reason is that by making it to Aquamarine, this girl or this guy gets 5 more matches and get a chance to be discussed by 1,000, if not 10,000 people for 5 more match days. That can have an effect, and it might get the character noticed and, may boost the character's popularity a bit. And who knows, that little boost just might be enough to get that character another season of television anime or some interesting, products that kind of improves the character's chance in the long run. In a big picture sense, I would still like to see the character making it to the Aquamarine, do what he or she can, and then hopefully build upon that in the next year.
I think you had an experience of it in 2018 with Young Wenli. He had almost the worst performance of all time in ISML.
Yeah, but at least he made it. Yeah, he got in by, some technicality, I admit. But still, I'm actually hoping that got people, talking about Yan Wenli just a little bit. Yan Wenli is a really interesting character. In these days where people are talking about politics for all kinds of regions, Yan Wenli, mentions many things that we should think about one more time. There are many points he makes that I wish more people be aware of. Also, this is what my wife said. In the reboot, man, does the Yan Wenli look good. I wonder how come more females didn't notice that.
So out of all the people in Aquamarine period, who do you think is not going to make it to Topaz? Who do you think needs a lot of campaigning in order to at least squeeze by and make it to the Topaz period?
You mean not impossible, but have a chance?
Not impossible, but have a chance.
Hot Cocoa.
I think Cocoa will be eliminated.
I know someone who will be very sad if Hot Cocoa is going to be eliminated.
I think Bokuben girls will need some campaigning. They didn't do well yet, and they don't have especially easy opponents either.
If we have Russian intervention, Horo can make it to Topaz.
In Group 2, you have both Holo and Saturn as favorites, so at least one will not be eliminated. Karuisawa Kei is a girl I don't trust yet to perform. I don't remember Classroom of the Elite performing well on female side last year's. She might be the 6th, maybe.
Karuizawa Kei, I really don't know much about her, but I do know there's one stat that worries some people. She won the Japanese light novel female character contest last year. She snapped winning streak by Misaka Mikoto. This is a girl that beat Misaka Mikoto in a rather large contest. If this somehow translates over to IMSML, at least I don't think she'll embarrass herself. She might do better than what most people expect.
What about the male side? Anyone in particular who you think needs serious campaigning if they have a chance of making it to Topaz?
Well, number one, anyone in Group 10 should be scared because we think that Giorno Giovanna is likely to number 6, but it takes one little twist for one little upset to put someone down to the 6th. Group 10 is one where everybody will need campaigning because one little break and they might not make it.
I think Joe Brando can maybe make it if he have a bit of campaign. His group is balanced for 3 last seeds, and he only need to sneak 1 win to reach wildcard match.
And yeah, that's another way to think of it. Giorno Giovanna might get lucky with 1 or 2 matches and, might be able to impress people to make it. So everybody in Group 10 needs it.
All right.
All right.
Who's going to take the necklace? Who's going to take the pendant?
I will bet on Kaguya for necklace. I think Mikoto fans might be a bit more patient. Either they try to scare anyone, or they try to hide their power a bit and aim for Topaz necklace.
Or they
And
might
then,
just go for the Dragon Ball.
They might also go for Topaz simply because Mikoto looks better in it, and not as good in Aquamarine.
Okay, I'm going to say Kaguya, fully expecting that some people will try to prove me wrong and vote against Kaguya.
You guys don't think that either Mikoto or Yukino are gonna take it?
Yukino actually is has the second highest chance. Mikoto probably will come up to the necklace match as the first seed. However, if I was a Mikoto fan, I might get tired of Aquamarine poster and be, thinking about another poster. Why does it have to be Aquamarine poster when, Mikoto looks good in a lot of other things and there are a lot of other posters Mikoto haven't won? So chances of winning, those other posters are not that easy to come by. If I was a Mikoto fan, I would actually say, let somebody else tag it out and then let somebody else, get hate groups and get some hate votes while we just pass by, try to get some love, and then when it really matters, we're going to crush everyone. That's how I would think if I was a Mikoto fan.
All right, then what about the male side? Who's going to take the pendant?
I think Shirogane Miyuki will take it, and on this one, I don't think there will be much of a fight. On female side, I think there will be a lot of contests, but on male side, I'm confident in Miyuki. Maybe Sakuta would be the one that can fight him, but I don't feel like it will happen.
All right, well, what about you, Maglar? Who do you think's going to take pendant?
Male sides rarely has surprises. So Shirogane Miyuki is probably the best contender. And then Levi or Asawa Sakoya is probably the next two to go for it. Yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen in Aquamarine. Tanjiro is someone that might do very well, but I think a lot of people will want Kamado Tanjiro to win the Ruby, not the Aquamarine.
Do you think Ishigami could get it? If Kaguya fans want Shirogane to win another one, like Topaz?
Maybe, but you might argue Ishigami fits Amethyst a little bit better. But Ishigami need to actually think about making a strong enough performance for the necklace round. I'll be more worried about that because I think Natsume Takashi, Ayanosuke, Ryunosuke, Aki Tomoya, they're not going to win, but they might keep things close enough to drag Ishigami U's ranking down enough to barely miss out on the pendant.
It's possible, but I think if Kaguya fans want to make a big statement, showing that even Ishigami can perform better than every other males would be a big stab for other factions.
Yeah, but that will also print a rather big bullseye right on them. And also, if the Kaguya fans really want to make a strong statement, make a couple poster. Kaguya necklace, Shirogane Miyuki pendant. Heck, let us make a couple poster, so 2 poster instead of 1 poster. Save some work for the Cody and the Hikari.
So Maglar, when it comes down to Ishigami and Natsume Takashi, who are you gonna vote for?
I'm afraid I'm a Natsume fan.
Why is he more Gar than Ishigami to you then?
I'm not sure Gar is the right word, but if you're talking mental fortitude, Natsume Takashi is somebody who has faced a lot of adversity, but managed to calm the adversity in a big way, who ends up winning a lot of people over. In terms of mental strength, Natsume Takashi is probably, one of the highest here. You're talking about somebody who is always threatened by supernaturals without any supernatural power to fight against. Yet this person not only not lose sanity, managed to become some kind of a healer for many of these supernaturals. In a way, Natsume Takashi is a character that I actually admire. Ishigami Yu, I know that he has strong points, and I know that he has, his own suffering. But other than Natsume Takashi, I'll probably vote for Ishigami Yu in all the other 4 matches. I'll put Natsume way over Ishigami in at least the mental character issue and also in the personality aspect as well. And if you want to mention a character development, if you follow the entire series, Natsume Takashi undergoes a lot of character developments that isn't all goody two-shoe, but many of it are somehow realistic. And also, he has his own setbacks and progress as well. So, in terms of characters, I'll put Natsume Takashi over Ishigami Yu by a large margin.
I don't think character development matters a lot in ISML.
It is one of the least relevant in terms of the any prediction on the power. Yeah, I agree. Not many people care about character development in ISML.
I think I would actually go with Ishigami instead. I do like Natsume, but when I watch Natsume's Book of Friends, I prefer Madara over him. So maybe he's tricked by the fact I like all pets in anime, and I also kinda like Ishigami. He might be the best representation of male moe in recent anime.
What about Ishigami that makes you find, I guess, male moe as opposed to other characters in the Aquamarine group? What about him stands out to you as being moe?
We probably need to define moe first to answer this question. The best quote about it is, moe is when your heart gets a boner. It's the most famous one, I think. I don't know if it's something we can describe with mere words. It's more a feeling that you have. A feeling of affection, and maybe sometimes protection you wanna provide to a character. Moe have to be dissociated from sexual attraction. A lot of people might partly like characters for that, but it's 2 different things that can or cannot overlap. And I think Ishigami have more chances to give these feelings than most Mav's character.
Alright then. What do you find moe, Maglar? Do you agree with his statement that
Yeah.
Ishigami would be more moe?
Well, if you consider moe as moeru, which is burning in Japanese, so something that makes you feel passionate about. If you decide to describe moe as a character that you either empathize with very strongly, then yeah, Ishigami would be one of the characters that I would emphasize very strongly with in a very favorable way. I like the fact that he is a very capable person. In my case, which is probably different from most other IS order, things like mental fortitude and character development is something that I feel rather strongly about. And I have an immense favorable view of character that demonstrates those traits. And Ishigami is one of the characters that I do demonstrate that a lot. I think, I like him better than almost all the other characters in that group, except for the Natsume. And yeah, in that aspect, you might say I find him, somewhat moe in the male burn, fire way. Yeah, bring on the fist of the North Star.
Alright then, what about the female side? Which characters do you consider moe there? And why do you consider them
Horo.
moe? Why is
Let's
that?
go Horo.
Is it because you like furries, Maglar?
Is that a tendency? I didn't know that I had furry tendencies. Though I do like Horo's tail.
Alright, what about Holo makes her more moe than everyone else?
Well, first, she's hot. She's pretty. She's also a character with a very complicated personality. She's very capable. Throughout the series, again, she shows lots of development. And also, she breaks some of the cliches associated with female characters. I do have to say I am slightly partial to character that does break a typical cliche associated with them. Although I know that, maybe just some, not a lot. You could still say Horo is a cliche character because she adheres to more cliches than she breaks it. Sure, then I have no argument against that. But still, there are some that Horo pushes the boundary. So, yeah, I really like her. And yeah, she's cute, she's hot. What else can you ask?
Okay, what about you, Chibasa? Out of the female characters here that we have for Aquamarine, who do you consider the most moe and why?
I could also say Holo.
Ah, come
But-
on, there's gotta be someone else.
But I will choose another one just for the exercise. Kasumiga Utaha from Seikano. I like girls that are proactive, that take the decisions and drive the story. And also she has all other qualities that I like, whether it's physical or about her personality.
I can actually choose one other person that's totally different from everything we said so far. Sakura Chiyo. I think Chiyo is very cute and funny, and sometimes, when you're cute and funny with interesting quirks, I wouldn't say Chiyo is a normal girl and she has her flaws, but rather interesting flaws. It makes me very attracted to the person. Sometimes some flaws can be as attractive as, good points. So I think I like Chiyo. And Sakura Chiyo is one of the girls that, should I say, in a rather weird way, brings out the sadistic side in me. So I find Sakura Chiyo rather interesting, and she's also very different from the most other girls that I like.
If I can choose a second one too, I would put Azunyan from Keian. I think she's great. She's definitely cute, literally every time. She's also especially mature for her age. She's kinda the most serious of the group, with maybe Mio. And I like when characters are not totally childish. And Keion is my favorite anime, so of course it's a plus.
So you like Holo, you like Azusa. You clearly like animo girls. You think those people are moe.
Oh, are you gonna claim that Sakura Chiyo is actually that Paras from the Pokemon then?
We can go there if you want to take that conversation there.
Oh dear. Oh man, I never knew that I had a secret fetish for that.
For me, what I would consider moe is cappuccino.
Welcome to the Eater School.
That type of character, the presentation of her character, that is what I would technically consider in my mind a definition of moe. If you look up in a dictionary and you see a picture of a moe character.
That's because you're a lolicon.
That might be true. Holo is beautiful and mature, but I wouldn't consider Holo moe. Chiyo is more moe than Holo, in my opinion, because Chiyo fits the more generic moe typing. Holo fits the more mature, adult-like character. Alright, and that is it for our podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the Saimoe Channel. Please keep in touch with the Saimoe community by following us on Facebook, on Twitter, on our main forum website, and on our Discord channel. If you are listening to us on YouTube, all information can be found in the description below. And if you are not on YouTube, you can find all the information of the links on our main website at internationalsaimoe.com in the community tab. If you are on YouTube, please give us a like and a subscribe. It goes a long way to continue to grow our community. But whatever you choose to do, stay safe and stay Saimoe. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.